Hey guys, first of all, thank you so much. Thanks for each and everyone for connecting. So this is Anupama. I'm basically a corporate trainer and a consultant, and I'm AWS certified in solutions architect, and I'm also internationally certified in cloud computing in a business school, which is collaborated with IIT Chicago, USA. And I have trained thousands of students in the last 3 years. And I'm AWS Academy accredited educator also. That means, and I'm officially an educator from AWS itself. Okay. So without further ado, let's start with our session. Let me just share my screen. I'm just getting the last class. Okay. Guys, everyone on mute. So let's have a few minutes for discussing some sort of basics, and then we will just discuss about the course objectives and all. Okay. So first of all, we will see what is cloud. So cloud is basically a kind of a data center, which was owned by a cloud service provider. When I say that it was owned by a cloud service provider, you access the cloud through internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. Okay, it's a pay-as-you-go pricing. Okay, let me repeat it. Cloud is a data center which was not owned by the customer, which was owned by a cloud service provider. Because we're talking about AWS, it can be AWS, and you access the cloud through internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. And if you are accessing the cloud for compute, for storage, application, database, so on and so forth, it's called cloud computing. It's that simple. Okay, so cloud is a data center. If you're accessing the data center for whatever it may be the requirement, it's called cloud computing. Now we will see why cloud, why organizations are moving to cloud, why we are moving with them. In a simple terms, why we are here. Okay, so in order to explain about the advantages of cloud, I should be comparing with a traditional one, which is on-prem before cloud, on premises, a traditional data centers which was owned by organizations and all. Okay, so if you want to start a business, okay, so if we want to start any kind of business, it need not be a software company, it can be just a cloth business. The first thing which is required is the capital investment. You know, capital. Okay, for let's take, I want to start a software company now. Even for that, I need capital investment for infrastructure. Yeah, which will have the servers. To keep the servers, I need building. Or if it's a big, it's called a data center. I need cooling fans to maintain the servers. Cooling fans. I need networking, security, and an expert to maintain the whole data center, so on and so forth. The list will just go on. Right? Once you are done, once you invest and have your infrastructure, then you will start your business, isn't it? A client will come with a requirement. And then, you know, the people will have, the organizations will start hiring people, and then the resources, laptops or whatnot. But before you start your business itself, you have to go for some sort of investment. We'll see the other side. If we move to cloud, I said cloud itself is a data center which has all these components owned by a cloud service provider. If we are moving to cloud, do we think you need to go for investment again? Absolutely not. So we have zero capital investment. Okay, I don't invest anything. Then how do I pay? You will have operational cost, OPEX. It's exactly like an electricity bill. You will be paying for what you're using. For example, in your home, whatever the AC or whatever you use it, you will be getting charged for that. The same way, in the cloud, you will be paying for what you are using, pay as you go pricing. Another example. Let's take, I have started my business in 2018 and I have 2 servers at that particular point of time. And I'm estimating by 19, I would be getting few more employees. For them, I need 2 more servers. So before I start with 2019, I bought 2 more servers. These are the existing one which are in 2018. And I bought 2 more servers before I start with 19. The same way, I estimated in 19 that by 2020, I would be getting few more employees and I bought 2 more servers for them. But we all know what happened in quotations 2020. Whatever it may be the pandemic or whatever it may be the situation, organizations have stopped hiring people. Instead, they started firing. But I estimated in 19 only that I would be getting few more employees and I bought 2 servers spending lakhs of rupees. Okay. But these servers are just idle. I'm not getting any revenue out of it. I have to wait for some time or for long, doesn't matter, for the servers to be utilized. Okay, but if we move to cloud, we can spin a server in minutes. I mean it. Okay, you can just spin a server in minutes because we have ready-made kind of thing. Okay, whenever you want it, you can just go and create. You need not worry about waiting for weeks or months to make a server ready. See why we estimate in before in 19 and then we create or we get the servers by 2020, because to make a server ready, it may takes weeks or months. But in cloud, we can just spin a server in minutes. So that you need not worry about estimating. Whenever you want it, you can just go and create it. Okay, let's go for another example. Whatever it may be the year, I have 2 servers for my existing employees. And I'm expecting interns. I'm expecting 500 people. Okay, so for them, I bought a server. And these internship will be there for 3 to 6 months. What will happen to this server after 3 to 6 months? Is it the same story? It will be idle. I have to wait for other employees to use it. But if we move to cloud, whenever you want it, you spin a server. Whenever you don't want it, terminate it. We have flexibility. Flexibility in the cloud. Another example. Advantages will be best explained with the examples only. I don't trouble you much. Just kidding. Now, let's take, I started my business in 2010 and I have a server. In 2011, I have one more. So and so forth. By 2020, I have 20 to 25 servers. Okay. Each and every hardware appliance will have a lifespan. You take your phone, we can use it for 3 to 4 years. We can still extend it, but the performance, it will get affected. The same with the server. We can go for 3 to 4 years. We can still extend to 6 to 7 years, but the performance will be degraded. So maybe I want to refresh for every 3 to 4 years. So maybe in 2013 or 14, I would be refreshing the first year's hardware. The first point is, if I want to refresh, I have to replace it. Again, capital investment, isn't it? And the second thing is, after 2013, I would be in a continuous repetition of refreshing my previous year's hardware, right? After every year, I have to refresh the previous year's hardware. But if we move to cloud, you can concentrate, okay, on your core business instead of maintaining data center operations, because you don't have a server only. AWS will be owning it. They will be taking care of it. That's okay. You concentrate on your business. Actually, we can. Okay. We can concentrate how to expand to clients instead of maintaining all these data center operations. The last but not least, go global in minutes. Okay. So let's take, I'm in US and I have some sort of my own data center. I have my own business, well established one. And then I want to expand globally and I want to start with Europe. So first of all, what we will do, we will travel there. We'll make sure we have some sort of space. Okay. And we may have some sort of strategy, but it may take a year or two to have or to replicate the whole data center here also. And then you can start your business. Like that, you have to do globally. But if we move to cloud, because the cloud service provider is already having their data centers globally, anyways, we are accessing the cloud through internet, right? You can switch the country or the region, okay, and we can just spin the servers over there. That is as in we say, we can go global in minutes, because you need not worry about the whole infrastructure setup if we move to cloud, because it's already there. You just need to access it. Okay, so these are the some of the main benefits why we are moving to cloud. Why cloud? Okay, now let's move to the course objective. So the course objective is to prepare the candidate for the AWS Solutions Architect Associate exam. So this training is AWS Solutions Architect Associate, where you will be getting the hands-on experience and you will be able to successfully pass any technical interview also related to AWS. and we can get ready for actual job duties. Coming to the roles and responsibilities. As a solutions architect, we will be meeting up with the clients, understanding the requirements. Okay, see, I have explained multiple scenarios here. Okay, so according to the requirement, what we can do is, once we learn AWS services, we will be knowing what will be the services for the requirement. We will be building the solutions or the architect accordingly. We will be presenting to the client, and you may get engaged in solution deployment too. Guys, please go on mute. Okay. And how do we proceed? Topic by topic, service by service. We'll start with the theory or the lab. Okay. And we will make sure that we have quiz for each and every module and also the guided practice. So in my session, the training will go like this. Basically, whatever the hands-on which I do in the class, you will be doing as a guided practice in the class itself. And also, I would be giving assessments. You would be doing the assessments as a homework. So that what are the hands-on and what are all the material or the theory which I would be explaining. You would be getting the material at the end, and also the assignments which you have done handy. So whenever you're going for an interview or the exam, you can just revise them and you can go for it. And doing or completing the assessments is mandated if you want to come to the session. That's how I assure that my students will definitely be able to crack the exam as well as the interview. So if I am assuring something, you have to follow the protocols here, like completing the assignment, revising the previous sessions and all. Okay, rest I will take care. Then why we want to become AWS certified? Because these AWS certifications are becoming more in demand day by day. And the salary survey shows that AWS Solutions Architect Associate salary average at 120K plus. And AWS is growing massively and is leading the public cloud space, which creates higher demand for Solutions Architect Associate. Last but not least, the architect role itself gives you the opportunity to be creative and the exposure to consulting and pre-sale roles. And coming to the contents. So if you're going for a detailed contents, Rahil will anyways forward you. Here I'm just giving an overview of it, where we have already seen what is cloud computing and advanced of cloud computing. We will see the types of cloud computing based on the service and deployment models as a basics. Once we are done with the basics of cloud computing, we'll jump into the AWS, where I will tell you how AWS started, what is the basic terminology which you need to understand, and creating an AWS account under the free tier. And we'll move to the Elastic Compute Cloud, which is our first service, which is a virtual machine in AWS. Okay. And we will be doing the lab also, how to create and all. And then we'll move to the EBS, which is a storage for your EC2 instance. Okay, we will do the lab for here also. And then we'll move to the Elastic File System, which is a shared volume for your EC2 instance. Anyways, the lab and all. And a simple storage service, which is basically an storage for internet, which I can compare with the the Google Drive, where we can store data in the cloud. And we will be talking about the VPC, which is very important topic as a part of the solutions architect. That is the reason we'll be doing it as a project one. And then we will move to the database services, where we have RDS for relational database. We have DynamoDB for non-relational database. We have Elastic Cache for caching. We also have Redshift for data warehousing. And then we'll move to the Route 53. So we can create a domain names with the help of Route 53 in AWS. We will see how and all. We will discuss about the features and all. And then we'll move to the IAM, which stands for Identity and Access Management, where we can control the authentication and authority who can access our AWS services. Okay. And we also have security management service. For example, if you have your data in AWS, obviously we should be taking care of the security. We do have some services which are supported for that. We will be discussing them. And we also have integration services where one service will be integrated with other service. We have SNS and SQS. Okay. And we have elastic load balancer and auto scaling group, which is another important topic. We will be doing that as a project too. And at the end, we will be discussing other services at the higher level description. Okay, so that's an overview of the contents. And coming to the certifications, AWS certifications, we have a cloud practitioner under foundational. We have a solutions architect, developer, and sysops under associate. And this is our course. And if you complete this training, you will be able to crack this certification as well as the previous one, which is a cloud practitioner. I will give the resources for both, and I will cover the syllabus for both. And we have professional. We have solutions architect again, and also developer plus operations, DevOps under the professional. And we also have some sort of specialization, something like, let's take I'm working in machine learning. So can I use AWS for that? Yes, we have a machine learning specialization in AWS. We have networking, we have security, database, big data, or data analytics, or Alexa skill builder. It's all together another kind of topic. But we do have some sort of specializations also. Whatever it may be your skill, we can go for some sort of specializations. So I usually tell, AWS is for everyone. Yes, because the future is cloud now. Or I can say cloud is the future. Okay. Any questions so far? That's an overview about the course. Yeah. Any questions, guys? I'm seeing the chat also.
Hey, can you post the link to the recording in the chat, please?
Yeah, once it is recorded, the recording link will be sent.
Got it. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, guys, this is your time to ask questions. The instructor is here. Any questions, any confusions, anything you need clarification on, she should be able to help you with that.
Hey, if you go back, can you go back to the slide that had the pillars of AWS, please?
What is that? AWS certifications?
All of the services. So the one that where it was EC2, S3, ELB.
Okay.
All right, appreciate it. Any other questions?
Can you go over how long the course is again?
It would be around 30 to 35 hours. If we do, when we are doing for a guided practice. Okay. So it all depends on you, how we are doing it. So it may extend or we can complete in time. Doesn't matter.
What happens at the end?
Okay, at the end you are ready for the interview as well as for the exam. Once we're done with the course, I will be providing you the resources for preparation of the exam. But for interview, once we're done with the course itself, you are ready for the interview. You can just update your resume with the services and you can attend it.
Do you help with interview prep?
Yes, so after each and every module we will be having a quiz.
How about
And each
resume?
every
You,
question which I would be explaining will be an interview point of question. I'll
and
tell you why, because I'm already working in AWS.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I meant to say, are you going to be able to help with the resume?
Yes, even that.
Okay. Typically, what do you put in? Do you put 5 years of experience in the resume, or do we tweak it? Like, how does that work?
Oh, okay. Do you want to go for a fake certificate? Fake experience?
I'm sorry.
Do you want to go for an experience? I mean, a kind of a fake experience?
No, I mean,
Fine.
I would, because I know a lot of companies, they do that. They put, your experience,
Yeah, we're not doing
5 years
that.
experience and whatnot, right?
Sorry.
But the thing is, what I'd like to do is I'd like to tweak my own personal resume as much as possible,
Mhm.
with maybe the least amount of experience, and how many years of experience that you would have to put at the least amount in order to get a job. So is 1 year, 2 years?
Okay. So you're experienced? First question. Are you experienced in any skill?
No,
Are you working now?
no.
Okay, then as a fresher, you'll get it. That's more than enough. But if you ask me, do I need to, if you want to keep experience, you can go for one, maximum 1.5. You cannot go beyond, because if there is a more years of experience, they may expect a deep knowledge, which you may not be able to answer just by going for the course, right?
So a 1 year of your experience is going to be good enough to get a job. Like one,
Yeah.
if you put it on the resume, 1.5 is going to be good enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I usually don't recommend, but if it is a mandate thing, we can go for 1.5 maximum. That's it.
Is it normal with somebody with the associate level to have 1 year of experience? Like typically
Yeah.
in the industry, an associate, how many years of experience do associates normally have?
See, my students who has done with this training, they immediately got job as a freshers only. So no worries. So that's the reason I was telling. So you can try it if you are not experienced. You can try as a fresher also. But if in US, if it is like that, you can go for 1.5. But most of my students, they just got job as a freshers only. So if you keep experience, there are more likely to get more opportunities.
So has anybody that I understand we're probably what, the second batch, or this is going to be the second or third batch. Did anybody pass their exam yet from the first batch? I know I talked to Raheel about it. He said somebody from the first batch was going to take the exam, I think either today or tomorrow. Did that person pass?
So let me answer that question. Anu has taught a lot of students and they have already passed. Depending on my company's batch is a whole separate thing. As far as she has trained at least 1,000+ people that have already passed. So if you're asking that if she has trained people and they have passed, the answer is yes.
So out of the people that Anu has trained, how many of them were US based and how many of them were international?
Oh, see, people are from UK, US, North Africa, India.
It
I usually teach globally as a corporate trainer, like, how I'm giving trainings for MIT. I usually do for many kind of academies. Yes.
What's the passing score for the certification exam?
720. So it's basically for 1,000. 720 is the passing score.
And how much does your students get normally?
Sorry, come again?
How much, like, how much does your students get normally?
Okay. It will be around 850 to 900. It all depends, dear. It all depends on the student, how they can grasp it.
How many questions will be there?
Passing percentage from doing this course like that you've done?
65 questions will be there. What is the next question? What? Sorry.
What is your passing percentage from taking this course?
What is my
How many of
passing
your
percentage?
students? Yeah.
How many of your students pass that take this course?
Okay, so you're asking me the number?
Yeah, like what's the percentage of students that take this class with you? They end up actually passing this course. What she's asking.
See, first of all, people should be dedicated to take the certification. People who are has already done it. Okay, just 1 second. I'm just trying to get my recent student record. Okay, let me share it. So I recently got it. This is my student called Adnan. Okay, so this is the issue date. He just passed in December. This is Jan, right? Yeah. So here is my latest student.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. So I'm just checking. Okay, no one asked me for the proof, but no worries, no worries. I don't mind. I'm just checking for my student records. That's it. Okay, so people who has got the job also. 1 second. I'm checking my chat.
I think the
Mm,
question wasn't to prove success. I think it was just a general idea of what percentage of your students are, are getting jobs.
as said, it's almost 850 to 900. See, again, I'm telling it all depends on you, how much you learn, how much you grasp it.
Okay, I think maybe, I'm not sure if you understood the question, Anu. So for example, since you started training, how many students have you had, right? Like for example, since you're in your career, how many students have you taught? Like you've taught 1,000 students, right? And out of those 1,000 students, how many dropped out and how many passed the AWS exam? So how many students, it's a two-part question. How many students have you had? And the second part is, out of those students that you've had, how many passed and how many dropped out? And how
Okay,
many failed?
I can give it in a percentage. Maybe a 70% of my students would have passed the exam.
Okay, and then the other 30% were either dropped out or they failed.
Might be. So they may have their own reasons for that.
So Shoaib, let me ask you, it's basically
Yeah, it
you're
all
asking,
depends, 1 second, Rahil. There's another one. Okay, so this is my student. I'm sorry. Yeah. So it's just a WhatsApp chat. So this is the feedback which I got on December 29th. Okay, he got selected in a company. He's from India.
now this can vary on various things, okay? You don't know what this guy background is, okay? You don't know what kind of qualification he has. But the point is, if you guys do your due diligence, which is go to Indeed and search yourself how many AWS positions are there, you will get the answer yourself. So nobody has to show you that this guy has a job, this guy has a job. I know a lot of people who were not doing AWS work. They have a job and they're making good money and they live in Maryland. Okay. So the point is how much time and effort you're trying to put in here. If you put the time and effort and if you practice
I have
for
a
the exam, there's no way you're not going to pass the exam. The students that have
Exactly.
taken the students that have taken this course are very satisfied. If you need their personal contact, you can reach out to me. I'll give you their personal contacts. Okay. They're not even based in Virginia. They're all based in New York and Baltimore, and I don't even personally know them. So you can have their opinion as well. So asking, there could be a lot of reasons where people haven't taken the exam or they haven't reported to her. So there's a lot of things that can happen. The people
Yes.
that have reported to Anu have
Yeah, yeah, right.
very 1 second, Anu. The
Yes,
people that
yes.
have reported to Anu has a very successful rate. She has been teaching. She's an Amazon accredited instructor, and that should be more than enough for everyone. So getting telling she doesn't have a magic wand that she's going to make you pass. She's going to put her effort, and you have to put your own effort to pass the exam. All right. So
So I have a question. So based on how much we do the studying with you, how many additional hours would we have to put in afterwards on our end?
See, AWS is not something which we can just complete in these hours. We are just talking about the solutions architect, which is just a part of it. Okay. So if you are explicitly talking about the AWS Solutions Architect Associate, once we are done with this training, see, during the training, it is not just the class. It's about your work at the back end. So you have to revise the classes. Anyways, you will be getting the recording after each class. You will be doing the assignments. Okay. So once you are done with the preparation of going through the recordings again and again, having your own notes, usually I would recommend to have your own notes. May not be possible when we are taking class, but once you get the recording, you prepare your own notes, do the assignments, and you are ready for interviews as soon as we are done with the class. I'm 100% sure, not even a percent less. That's the feedback which I get from my students. Okay. The second point, preparing for the exam. See, preparing for the exam where you will have some sort of questions, a multiple choice questions and all, you must be getting habituated to those kind of questions where I would be providing you the resources to prepare for the exam questions. Because in class, we would be talking about the theoretical, some sort of questions, which may not be same as exam questions. So you have to get habituated to that practice test. So I will be providing some sort of practice test where you prepare of your own. It may take month or 2 or 3. It all depends on how many hours you keep it in a day. Okay. So my student, which I have just shown you, who has done this certification in December 11th, I think. Okay. I just completed his training last week. He did in this week because he is very dedicated. He just completed in this week. And he is preparing with, as soon as with my sessions, he will come with a lot of questions and he asked me, I'll answer it. Okay. So guys, what I was trying to tell you, why I have shown proof, it is just that I completely understand that you cannot blindly follow me because you're seeing me for the first time. That is the reason I have shown you the proof. And the second thing is, it's all completely depend on you, how much time you spend on preparing the exam and the interview.
I have a question. I was hoping that, do you have about a couple minutes to maybe open up the system and kind of just play around and show us what it looks like? I mean, I'm not sure, most of us probably haven't had the exposure to actually open up the system, AWS. So do you have?
Yeah, if you can, please.
Yeah, I actually want to, like, I was kind of hoping that you would actually open up an actual system and just kind of play around and show us kind of some things that we might be doing as a solutions
You
architect.
mean in AWS?
Yeah.
Yes, that's
We will
correct.
do anyways in the class, guys. We will do anyways in the class about that. That's what our course is about.
Okay. Yeah, I was hoping a demo, like kind of sometimes when you have like a product demo, like when you're signing up for something, I was kind of hoping that if you would maybe sign in your account and just kind of play around and show us what it looks like.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
No worries, no worries. So we will be creating an AWS account. Even you guys will be doing it for hands-on. And you will be directed to the AWS console. We'll talk about the console and all, and we will see the services. These are the recently listed services and all. And here you can see all the details about your account. I don't want to go to details because this is what I will explain in the class. Okay, so most of the time we will be working in the console only in different services. We'll talk about it. Definitely, yes. Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Anu?
Yes, please.
Okay. So most of the time you'll be working on UI or you'll be using terminal as well?
It all depends on the project which you are working in your real time.
And in this course, are you going to
In this
introduce?
course, we will be talking on only UI, not CLI. In the solutions architect, this UI would be fine.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yes.
Just a quick question. Will this be like a live kind of class, or you can take it as
Live sessions, not recorded.
and do you have like a time just because of everyone's schedule?
But will you record it and send us out?
Yeah, we'll definitely have a time and everyone will be attending it. Even if you guys miss, we will have the recording. I generally suggest not to miss any class. No, live is live again.
All right, any other questions?
Yeah, well, what kind of questions will be in the exam? Is it like multiple choice or
Yes,
scenario?
multiple choice. Multiple choice. No fill in the blanks, huh?
Is it like scenario based?
Yes, scenario based.
Is the exams online or on a site, on a proper?
So actually, because of the COVID, AWS has made it online. Now it is supporting.
Are you going to help us during the exam?
No. Absolutely not. I don't do that.
Okay.
And you can't even take help of anyone, not just me.
Shoaib, you want a job or you want the certificate?
Exactly. Fine. But no, I'm sorry. I don't do that.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Just a quick question. Do you have to pay for the exam? Is there like a registration fee?
Yes, there's a
Sir, come
separate
again?
registration fee for that. Yes.
Yeah, you have to schedule the exam and then you need to go for $150 for AWS Solutions Architect Associate. We do have a basic certificate, which is for $100.
Now, for that certificate, sometimes we do get vouchers. And if you're taking the exam, you can let us know a week in advance that, I'm planning to take my exam on so and so date. If we have vouchers at that point, we will give you the vouchers. Sometimes they're 25%, sometimes they're 50%, and sometimes they're 100%. But you have to utilize the voucher pretty fast because everyone has to use those vouchers. So, yes.
Thank you.
All right.
And
Any other
once,
questions?
yeah, once we get the certification, how long is it valid?
3 years.
3 years. And after that, we have to do the
You
exam.
have to, yes, recertificate. Yes. What is it called? You have to reschedule the exam again. So that it can extend for another 3 years. It's AWS thing, huh? I can't do anything.
I know in your experience, how often do employers actually want to see the certificate?
Oh, very frequently, For example, see, I'll tell you 2 scenarios. One is like, for example, you have two people who are going for an interview or who went for an interview. One is certified, AWS certified, and other is not. But both have got selected for technical round. They will prefer to go for the person who's certified in AWS. It doesn't mean that, please let me complete. It doesn't mean that you cannot go for interviews unless you complete the certification. You can tell that I'm recently got trained. Okay, that is the reason I'm attending the interview. I'm in the process of preparing the certification, but you have to do the certification. But you can prepare for the interview. You can attend the interview and you can tell that soon I would be attempting the certification, and you should make it true also.
So, for example, if I put like 1.5 years of experience on my resume, right? And can I tell them that I've been working in the environment, but I just recently got my certification? Is that acceptable by employers typically?
The
Yes.
answer is yes.
Yes, they can.
Okay.
I'll tell you how. You can tell that we used AWS, okay, because you're keeping the certificate, which is, sorry, the experience is just not true. Okay, I don't want to call it as fake or something like that. Because you're keeping the experience, which is not true, you can tell that you are using the AWS only for some percentage. Okay. So that you can tell that now I want to expand myself into AWS completely. So I did the certificate. Then. See, if you want to hide something, you have to do a lot of like covering a lot of times, you know.
You have to do a lot of background work.
Exactly.
Just a
If you
question.
ask me.
Sorry to
Mhm.
interrupt. So your past like students are what kind of backgrounds did they come from? Like I'm someone I have no.
Oh, different backgrounds. People are from not from IT. They are from IT, having being a freshers, having 20-25 years of experience. I have seen all kinds of people. Yeah, if you ask me, all kinds of people with different scenarios. That is the reason I'm able to answer your questions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What percentages of solution architects are remote and what percentages are not? Like, for most students, do they get remote jobs or they don't have to go into the office? Because work-life balance is
Varies.
important to me.
Sure, it varies on every
See,
project. So let me answer that
work
question.
life.
So this, you're asking about two different things. Okay, first, there's commercial projects that can be remote, and there's federal projects that could not be remote. Okay, there's some projects in federal that I've worked on that are remote, and then some of them they're strictly on site. So it varies on which company you're applying for, which project you're working on. So it again, it depends. If you apply in patent trade office, after 1 year you can work from home as long as you're there in patent and trade office. Okay, so but on the other hand, if you're working for a DoD project, they will not allow you to work from home even 1 day. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Yes, Rahil is right. It all depends on the company and the project you are into. Seriously, nothing to do with AWS. Any more questions? Oh,
Rahil, I had one question for you.
Mhm.
Were you gonna do a QA demo as well?
Yes,
Can you please sign me up for that?
absolutely. It is QA, manual, and automation both together.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said it's QA, manual testing, and automation testing together.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
um, okay. So, guys, if you don't have any questions, I think I will leave the call and Rahil will take over.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So for you people who are interested in finding a job, I can talk about that and share some screen and share some light on how you can find a job in AWS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, chalo, guys. Bye bye. Thank you so much for connecting again. Yeah. Chalo. Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, uh, let me uh, clarify a couple of things that are very important. Okay, which is finding a job. Okay, AWS getting a certification and then finding a job. It is like she mentioned, you can once you have better privileges of getting a job if you have AWS certification. Now, in every field, you are moving on to cloud computing. Okay, even if you're a business analyst, even if you're a project manager, even if you're in DevOps, even if you are a QA person, everyone is moving into cloud computing. Let's just keep that very, I'll keep that very straightforward. Why do you want to move into cloud computing and just get a resource and just get a job as a solutions architect? That's your own personal reason. I don't know if you're going as a consultant, if you're going as a technical person, what is your goals? It all depends on those things. Okay. Now, finding a job, there is I don't know if my screen is sharing right now, but let me share my screen and just do a little search on Amazon Solutions Architect and show you how many jobs are there currently in the market. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen now. All I did is did a search on Amazon Solutions Architect, and we'll keep it open. Here you go. Night shift with how many? 17 days ago. Okay, configuration architect. Now there's different level of positions, but as you can see, these are growing pretty fast. Right here, Azure, AWS, all these positions are growing pretty fast. How many positions are there? There's number of positions within 25 miles of radius. I don't know what background you guys are coming from, but in every background, it is necessary to get a solutions architect certification. And the reason why is moving within 2 3 years, when you move on to a different position, their company might have infrastructure that is designed around solutions architect. Okay, that is designed in cloud, and that is also it will look good on your resume to become a solutions architect, because one, you already knew about cloud computing before you even applied for the job. Now your job does not conclude of working. You could be a project manager, but let me ask you this: if you're a project manager and you're going into a company that is working on solution cloud computing, and you don't know jack, how are you qualified to be their project manager when all their applications are deployed in cloud computing? Okay, that's one question. And I'm going to ask these questions to you. Okay, if you are a business analyst, okay, all these applications are deployed on cloud computing. That means you need to understand the infrastructure of how cloud computing is being done, because you have to gather requirements according to that. Okay, so you can be a functional business analyst, but if you are a technical business analyst, that is required, that you need to understand the architect of cloud computing. Okay, that answers for business analyst. Okay, third is developer. Obviously, if you're doing DevOps, you need to understand cloud computing. If you're deploying any information on servers, there is a development environment that is in cloud. You need to know how to get into that cloud server. And for that, you need to have an understanding of cloud computing. Okay, that's where it's handy. The fourth is what? Tester. These are the four key positions in any company. Okay, project manager, business analyst, tester, developer. Any company you pick, these are the key elements. Okay, now as for tester, all the testing efforts are moving into what? Selenium, automation. Where is the server? Again, cloud. Okay, so you need to know how to deploy automation scripts in the server in cloud. Again, it's useful for you. So like I was saying, in any field of work you are going, you need to know cloud computing. And here, I'm going to show you everything in front of you. It says technical product manager, AWS. A product manager, why does he need a solutions architect? Then AWS solutions architect, solution architect. Okay, I'm going to show you system admin. Mainframe is if you guys are in technology, you should know mainframe is the oldest technology. Even those things are moving into architect, in solutions in cloud computing. Okay, cloud support engineer, cloud application architects nationwide. These are all positions that are open within 30 days, 24 days. UX designer. customer solution manager, that person is also required to have AWS sales. So not even just IT, the sales guys also need to know what solutions architect or what cloud computing is. Now I know a lot of friend of mine that are in IT and they did solutions architect and then they are working as a product manager because you need to know the fundamentals of cloud computing. And that is why it is required you to have, so you choose any field. Point is, everyone is moving on to cloud computing. It is good for your resume to shine if you have a solutions architect or if you have a fundamental cloud practitioner on your resume. Okay, I hope this answers everyone's question. To find a job, there's a lot of jobs. Like I said, there's a lot of jobs. How you tweak your resume, how you build your resume, that's not none of my concern. You can put 4 years, 10 years, 20 years. The only thing is how, if you're able to defend that, be my guest, put 20 years in there. So the point is not by learning this course, you are ready for interviews. But if you're going to put 20 years or 15 years or 2 years or 3 years, you should be ready to defend that 2 years. Because in front of the interview, he is going to put your certification on one side and he's going to ask you questions based on what you're doing in the lab environment or the solutions or the Amazon environment that Anu was showing you. We are giving you hands-on practice in that environment. The reason why when you go to work, you need to know how things are done. Passing just the exam is not going to lead you to anything. You need to know technical eligibility on how to do things, and you need to have hands-on experience. Okay, you can go and even YouTube and pass the exam, but where is that going to lead you? It's going to lead you to just passing exam. It is not going to lead you to have an understanding of what EC2 server is, what uh, virtual machines are, what databases are, what pipelines are, things like that. So those are only done hands-on, and we are training you for that. Okay, so I guess this answers your questions about jobs and why do I need an AWS architect certification, right? Anything else that I haven't covered?
Oh, that's it for me. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, anyone else? All right, I guess we're all good. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I am going to put my number here in the chat. And if you need, where is the chat? Right here. Okay, so if you need anything, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahil.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.